Boy, that was quick. 50 years ago this weekend, National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger took his historic, and boy, it was secret, trip to Communist China to meet with Prime Minister Zhou Enlai as the first step in what became President Nixon's opening to China.
I think one of the results of our trip, we hope, may be that the walls that are erected, whether they are physical walls like this, or whether they are other walls of ideology or philosophy, will not divide peoples in the world.
In 1971, China's GDP was under $100 billion a year, way behind the United States, which had nearly $1.2 trillion. But in 50 short years, China has grown its economy, listen to this, over 100 times to more than $10 trillion a year now, becoming the second largest economy in the world and closing fast on the United States in the #1 position. So how did it do it? The old-fashioned way, through enormous hard work, the ambition of its people, and a fair amount of moving people from the rural interior to the urban coast. But today, that may just be starting to change. Where in the 1960s, Timothy Leary was urging America's youth to tune in, turn on, and drop out, today the equivalent Chinese mantra is TANGPING, or lying flat. Begun 5 years ago by a 25-year-old factory worker named Luo Huazhong, lying flat is spreading through the youth of China. Tired of the long hours, they've decided to take it easy, giving up their jobs, living modest lives off of their savings, and yes, sometimes off of their parents. As you might imagine, this doesn't sit very well with the older generation. President Xi insists that struggle is the way to go. The government is shutting down online groups advocating lying flat. One newspaper writes, quote, "The only way to ensure a happy life is if one works hard. Lying flat is not only unjust, but also shameful." However it all ends up, it does underscore just how far China has come, from subsistence living to demanding more out of life than a house and a car, all in just a little bit more than a single generation. And I must say, without the love beads and the psychedelic mushrooms. Back in the day, we used to say, "Come the revolution." But, oh yes, in China, they already had their revolution, didn't they?